In the heart of Dallas, what began as a routine morning outside an ICE facility quickly turned into a scene of chaos and tragedy, shaking not only the city, but the entire nation. In the early hours of September 24, 2025, the city of Dallas awoke to a shocking act of violence that served as both tragedy and warning, when an unidentified gunman opened fire on a U.S. Immigration and Customs Enforcement field office in northwest Dallas at about 6:40 a.m., reportedly firing from an adjacent building with suspected sniper-like precision as detainees were being led into the facility for processing and potential repatriation, sending shockwaves through the community and law enforcement alike. 3 people were struck, one fatally at the scene, 2 others wounded and rushed to nearby hospitals. While no ICE officers appear to have been injured according to official reports, and the shooter, after inflicting his harm, died by suicide from a self-inflicted gunshot wound on a rooftop of a nearby building, closing a violent chapter, yet opening a flow of questions about motive, preparedness, and prevention. As local police, emergency medical responders, and federal agents flooded the area, cordoning off highways near the Stemmons Freeway, and coordinating the investigation, headlines across Dallas and beyond flickered with uncertainty. Who the victims were, detainees, facility visitors, or local personnel, is still not confirmed. The weapon and precise vantage point are under forensic review, and the motive, whether hate, protest, ideological, or deeply personal, remains officially unknown. Homeland Security Secretary Kristi Noem issued a public statement condemning the violence and urging prayers for the victims and their families, emphasizing that ICE enforcement is facing unprecedented violence, while ICE Acting Director Todd Lyons, speaking through CNN, described preliminary findings suggesting a possible sniper attack, the shooter's elevated position, and whether this attack signals growing threats toward immigration facilities should be taken very seriously. This incident joins a disturbing pattern of violence and threats faced by ICE facilities and agents in recent months, including bomb threats at the same Dallas location, ambushes at other Texas ICE centers, increasing assaults, verbal attacks, and a climate of heightened tension driven by polarized public discourse over immigration, enforcement policies, and border control. Experts warn that such violent events do not occur in isolation. They are symptoms of broader societal stresses, rising political polarization, inflammatory rhetoric toward immigration authorities, the mental health crisis among disenfranchised individuals, and pervasive access to firearms that allow such attacks to happen with lethal speed. The Dallas shooting brings into sharp relief the competing demands for security and accountability. ICE facilities are bound by laws that require them to provide safe processing, but facilities are also often understaffed and underprotected. Local law enforcement works with federal agencies, but jurisdictional delays and protocol gaps can slow response. And while years of data show a spike in assaults on ICE agents, some reports indicating increases of 500 to 700% year-over-year in certain jurisdictions, these statistics are often burdened by incomplete reporting, murky definitions of assault, and political bias, making it difficult to build consensus on what must be done. For communities near ICE offices, this shooting is another blow to trust. Detainees and immigrant rights advocates fear escalation will lead to stricter policies, reduced transparency, and more militarization of immigration processing. Local residents worry about being caught in the crossfire, especially when shootings involve buildings adjacent to civilian spaces. Law enforcement leaders call for better protective infrastructure, sniper protection, surveillance, ballistic windows, perimeter security, and more mental health intervention and threat assessment before violence erupts. Politically, this incident will almost certainly become part of the debate over ICE's role under the current administration, or any future one, with opponents of heavy immigration enforcement using it to argue that ICE must be reformed, overseen, and restrained, while supporters of strong enforcement will say that ICE agents need more resources, legal protections, and standing authorizations to neutralize threats. Media coverage will likely emphasize both the cruelty of the violence and the tragedy of innocent lives lost. But public perception will hinge on how transparent the government is about the victims, about motive, about preventive failures. Is there surveillance system failure? Did building design leave blind spots? Were warnings ignored? Moreover, this shooting may impact policy. Congress could push for increased funding for ICE field offices, physical security, possibly mandating sniper-proof architecture or stronger coordination with local police. There could be renewed debate over whether ICE field offices or processing centers should cease outdoor transfers at certain hours or adopt more guarded escort procedures. The legal aftermath will also matter. Even if the shooter acted alone and is now dead, civil suits or subpoenas may follow, particularly if families of victims perceive negligence. Finally, this event underscores a painful reality. In a nation already grappling with gun violence, mass depolarization, and distrust between communities and law enforcement, incidents like the Dallas ICE facility shooting are both terrifying moments of loss and warning signs of deeper fractures, where policy, rhetoric, and security intersect in ways that leave people vulnerable. As Dallas mourns, the rest of the country must ask not only how to respond, but how to prevent the next tragedy, balancing the rights of detainees, the safety of public servants, and the promise that America can enforce laws without becoming unsafe itself. As Dallas grieves and America debates, one haunting question remains: how many more warnings like this must we face before real change is made?